Hello, viewers. Welcome to another favorite talk show on your Serenity TV. My name is Gloria, and today we'll be discussing a very interesting topic. I have beautiful guests in our midst today in the studio, in the presence of.
My name is Timothy, and it's nice being here
You're
today.
welcome. Thank you.
And I'm Geraldine Isaac. It's nice being here.
You're very much welcome. So today we'll be discussing a very wonderful topic, which says, "Is marriage still a goal for Gen Zs?" Is marriage still a goal for Gen Z? So when we say the word Gen Z, some people don't understand what it actually means. Why some do when you say Gen Z? So if I may ask, who is a Gen Z?
First of Gen Z, we say are from the late 1997s up until very early 2000s. Children around this age, because so if we check it now, we can say adults around this age bracket, from December 1997 all the way to I think 2005 thereabout. That is the age range of the Gen Z. So it's more or less the latest generation that should be thinking about procreating or giving birth or getting married, something like that.
All right, all right. So when we are talking about the word, is marriage still a goal for Gen Z? Because if we look about it, in those that we have the boomers, we have the millennials, and those bomb I think those were our fathers and grandfathers also. They actually view this word marriage as a very sacred thing. Do you understand? So but now we are in a very civilized world. We are in the 21st century. So now we are asking, is marriage still a goal for a Gen Z? Young people of now,
Yeah, I get.
boys and girls, is
Yeah.
marriage still a goal?
When you say something is a goal, that means you are working to achieve something. You are working towards something. If you're a football lover, you say something is a goal. You score a goal. That means you've achieved something. You've made a particular height when it comes to being an individual. So when you are saying is marriage a goal, it's more or less like, is marriage everything you are here in the world to do? Like, when you get married, doesn't mean you've achieved everything, or does it mean you've achieved something? Is marriage an achievement? It can be put in that way as well. And it's kind of, what our parents, what our forefathers, what our culture has taught us as humans, that we should live in the world where we see marriage as something that cannot be done without. It's in that mindset of a lot of people that if you are not married, you are not human, or you have not done the right thing. In fact, a lot of people will tell you, if you are not married, you are not progressing in life. Some people classify marriage as the bracket of being successful. A lot of persons, I've heard of some people that will tell you, you are not married, I'm married, even though you have more money than me, I've achieved what you have not achieved, and that is marriage. And I'm like, okay, is marriage an achievement? So when you're coming from that angle, they are trying to tell you that if you are not married, you've not attained life, you've not seen life, you've not done something worth mentioning. That means you are not in a particular bracket.
All right, all right. So what about you, man? What do you think?
Well, in my own aspect, my own view about if marriage is a goal for Gen Zs, just like he said earlier, Gen Zs are the Generation Z. They are just more like people giving birth to the technology age, just like the millennials, the baby boomers, and all that. Those ones, they don't really know what technology is all about. But these days, people from the that were born at the age of the year 1997 to 2005, 2012, they're the generation Z, like we say. And then those persons, they actually see marriage as something important, you understand? But they don't see it as a necessity, something is an achievement. They don't see it as it's a do or die affair. They more like focus on their career, their mental health, what works for them, like what makes them who they are. They try to build themselves first, and then they keep marriage for later. You understand? It's not like they don't actually love the attention, the companionship, the everything about marriage, but they don't see it as it's a do or die affair. They believe that they can work on themselves first. They should build themselves, get a career for themselves. Both the male and the female. It's not just about the female, because these days when they say Gen Z, they talk about mainly the female aspect. They didn't talk about the male aspect of it. All individuals born on that year, that age bracket, we all belong to the Generation Z. You understand? So we kind of focus on career, education, mental health. Okay, back then in the days, your parents would be like, you must marry, they'll arrange marriage for you, kind of thing. But this time around, you don't even stress yourself. You just go about. If your parents will be like, you must marry, be like, mom, I'm not ready for this, and they will have nothing to do about it. But back then in the years, you understand, you actually,
Yeah.
yeah, that's my own.
All right, thank you. So you were saying something about the fact that if marriage is actually an achievement. Now, let me take it back to, like I said earlier, the boomers and the millennials and everything. We can see in those days, right? It is said that, let me come to women. A woman is a must. You don't have a say in it. It's a must that you, even when you get to a certain stage, if you are not married, like he said, they tend to see it as something you've not achieved anything. Like you're not worthy of being a woman. You're not like when able-bodied women come out, you're not supposed to be there.
You know, the thing is, you are making it just from the woman's perspective. It also applies to men as well. I
No,
was seeing
sorry, I'm not making it. It's not like from the romance perspective.
woman's perspective.
Woman's perspective. When in those days now, it is the family itself that will bring out the girl. As young as you are, it is not even young men. They don't even bother young men that much.
Are
Do you
sure?
understand?
They do.
Wait now, they don't bother young men that
They do.
much. Wait, like okay, the thing is, if a guy is let me use 20 as an example. If a guy is 20, if maybe they've not found a perfect girl for him to marry, he's there. Do you understand? But if he's a lady and you are 20, you're not yet married, even if he's an old man, you will get married to him. Then, because they tend to see it as something that it is shameful for you to be at that age and still be in your father's house.
Women have early bloom. Back then, in fact, we see that when we check out, in fact, generally till today, you see women, they grow faster than men. They have everything before a man does. I remember back then when I was in primary school, me and my younger sister, and so people call my younger sister my older sister. I'm about 2 years older than her, and they'll be like, your older sister is coming. I'm like, come on, bro. I'm like this. But if you see me now and her, I'm quite taller than her, but she's everything already. By when we were in secondary school, she was already more or less a woman. You get so women have bloom early, and they tend to fade out very very early as well. Women get when you get to the age of 30, we hear 31, 32. It's much more difficult to give birth. It's much more difficult to raise children. So that is why they try to make sure that as a woman give birth early in your early 20s. From 20 to 25, it's a little bit difficult, but it's easier 25 to 30 when you are fertile and you see a woman can give birth easily. When you get enter 31 downwards, it's a little bit difficult. But when you're getting to 45, that is where there might be complications when it comes to conception and giving birth. And also back then, they tend to want women to get married early so they can give birth early.
You think that's the reason why they
Yeah,
actually make
mostly. And again, back then, you already see a young girl. She already have everything. Come on, you see a fine girl at the age of 20. You go outside and you say girl of 20, you're like, wow. I saw a video and they're like, before you ask a lady out, ask her age. Because now, you see a girl of 16. If you don't ask, you don't know she's 16. So more, something like that. Yeah, women are already mature at the age of 20 compared to a guy. And
That's true.
and you know how it is in especially the African society. The guy is supposed to provide for the family. So maybe at the age of 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, the guy is still also struggling. The woman, all you need to do is just come and live with me and take care of the children, take care of me. That was the mentality.
Then
But they will till now somehow. Whether you agree or not, we all know it's the truth. Yeah.
okay. So now let's talk about generational shifts in marriage.
Okay.
We are talking about the boomers, the millennials, and the Gen Zs. If we look at the marriage pattern then and now, there is a big shift. It is not exactly how it was then. There's a lot of changes. So let's talk about the shifts. Is it that Gen Zs are actually trying to, would I say, recreate their own pattern? Or is it the fact that they are not actually following whatever is happening? They just want to live their life the way they want it. Why is there a shift in? It's still the same. We are just moving on. Aside from the fact that it's a technology and technological era now.
Area.
So why is it like that? Why is there a shift in when it comes to marriage aspects? It's not. I don't. I will I use the word. It's not taking more serious as it was then. Then you had it have divorces.
Would you say it's not taking more serious
Let,
than it
let me
was
just
then?
let me just use the word. It's not taking.
Are you serious
Let
about
me
that?
let me use the word. It's not taking more seriously, because if you look at it, then
Okay.
it is a woman cannot leave her husband's house no matter what it
Obviously,
is.
yeah.
Do you understand? So, but now we have choices.
Mm.
We have choices. We could just get married today, and I find out that I'm not getting it. I'll tell you that I don't want again.
Of
Jeez.
I'm
course.
done. Do you understand? So, why is there a shift in
Well,
marriage
I would
traditionally?
I would say that back then there are more of imposing marriages on our genders, like the females or even the males. Not just about the females though. You can actually arrange a woman and bring to the man, you must marry the lady, something like that. It's done. It's not just about the female aspect, it's happening to the male as well. So back then it's more like they impose it on you, you must get married. And by the time they take you to the husband's house, or you actually get married to the person, you find out that you actually depend on him. You can't leave, and you cannot go back to your parents' house. If you go back there, nobody will cater for you. And there's nothing back then, it's just farming, there's no technology. You cannot do let's say you can work with your phone, work with your laptop, do all these things. You can't do it back then. So it's mainly, let's say, farming and all sorts of, it's mainly farming, let's say that. Then back then, if you leave your husband's house and come back to your parents' house, they will chase you out.
It's a shameful thing back then.
You cannot do that. The shame alone sef won't even allow you to come back. And now if you're in your husband's house, you have to remain submissive, because you're actually depending on him to actually feed you and the children. All you have to do is to take care of the homes. But this time around, you as a person, you have actually learned so many skills due to technology. You can speak for yourself, you have the freedom of your own, you have work, like you're fine, you're on your own, you can do perfectly fine. So why depend on somebody? If that place is not working for you, if your peace of mind is at stake, you leave. You understand? We, just like I said earlier, we actually these days we take our mental health first. You understand? We kind of look at what works for us, what make you happy, and not what others think about you or what they want you to do. That's actually what I think in that
So,
aspect.
like, this generation are actually wiser than.
If you say wiser, maybe that is going a stretch far. I feel for me, the reason why it's different in this era is because of the internet, because of westernization of our culture, and because of all a lot of people see on social media. Basically, that is why marriage right now differs from back then. Back then, there was nothing like social media, especially the millennium. If you check it very well, you see that a lot of millennium also married late, because that was the early bloom of technology and internet. It just start popping in and coming up. If you check it very well, so mostly when we check why we are seeing a lot of divorces, and mind you, these divorces are not from Gen Zs, because Gen Zs are just getting married. This
Yeah.
divorce is basically from millennium. That is where it comes from. But before millennium, we had a generation whereby it's, as you said, more or less farming. Yes. Then we have these. How do they call this word again? We have this era where we had this white collar job coming through. No internet. This white collar job. So you go through to university, especially in Nigeria. You are a big man at that point when you graduate from university, because there's a job, there is something to work with, there's something to work for. Most times they tend to go through university in a very late, secondary, at that point where they used to put their hand on their head and try to primary school, secondary school, So you graduate from university late most times. Now, coming out of university, you're looking forward to marry. Perhaps you are taken to your village after your mother have said, Emeka, since all these years, come and pick one person from home now. You go back to your village and get a lady to marry, a lady who is uneducated. You get a lady who is not really into education. Even if a lady is into education, because education was not prominent among women back then, Even if the woman is lady is into education, we have this strong cultural hold on women that your family is the most important thing, and your husband is more or less your God. Okay, so there's this. Your mother will tell you, or the mothers in the home will tell you that is how it has been for them too. So that was what happened, and that time they were not at par with men. They were much more a little bit subdued compared to how it is right now. But this time around, moving into millennial era, this is where we now see women that want to be on the same pedestal with men. I don't know if you understand what I mean.
Yes, I do.
Now, you will now see women that want to be in the same bracket, that want to compete with men, that want to be called men. You now start hearing words like what a man can do.
A woman
A
can
woman
do
can.
better.
That is where everything now start coming through from. A woman. You now see a woman that will tell you, "No, I cannot cook for you. You get a maid." It's from millennial actually, because Gen Zs are just getting married. They're just clocking 20, 21, 22. So you now start seeing women that will tell you, you went to Harvard. I went to Harvard too, or you went to UNN. Let's use it. I went to UNN too. You have a BSc. I have a BSc too. More women now start getting into the educational system. Now start having much more insight about schooling. Now start having much more enlightenment. That now feminism now came in at this point in time again. People are now shouting, men and women are equal.
Okay.
That now talking to most women. So when a man now tell his wife that, dear, can you please wash my clothes for me? The woman is like, hello, you're a professor, I'm a professor. How dare you? Something like that. So that is where it all started from. Now, I don't know, Gen Zs are just getting married, but Gen Z own is basically social media. Whatever you see Tiwa Savage doing, that is what you want to do. Whatever you see, please give me a name.
Any of the celebrities.
Any of the celebrities. Is now Gen Zs is basically celebrities. Why millennial for me, I think, was education, the level of education. But Gen Z nowadays, they are now copying what millennial are doing. They are now doing it more
Extra.
exactly than what millennial are doing.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's go on a short break and we'll be right back. Thank you. All right, viewers, welcome back from that very short break. We are still on the topic. Is marriage still a goal for Gen Zs? Okay. So now let's look at the family aspect. Let's take a good look at the family aspect. Is marriage, when we say marriage, is marriage still a goal for the Gen Zs? Are family expectations around marriage still strong like it was then? Are families' expectations around marriage, is this still strong like it was then?
I would say yes.
Okay.
I feel that even to today, a lot of people want their children to get married, especially the mothers. You see a mother that say that I've gone to Kanayo's marriage, it was good. Went to, at some point, my mom told me that, Timothy, you see, I've been going to different
Okay.
marriages. People will come to your own. Yeah. And in fact, she told me that the reason why I go to their marriages is that when is our turn?
Exactly.
So our mothers till now still looking for us to, because our mothers are not millennial mothers. Our mothers are still the generation before millennial. So they still expect us to get married, which is something that I feel uh, should not really be, because they are educated basically, and they should understand that a man is supposed to do his will. We have rights to self will. Well, they are now in the period of where they want you to, at this age at least, have a child. I want grandchild. I want to see my granddaughter, my grandson. You get. So yeah, especially if you are the first child, wahala dey for you.
Well, I think you will not blame them though, because they are still based on this cultural. It's a cultural thing, and they want
mentality.
is that the culture has been there, and they want the continuation of lineage. They don't want it to end, because some of them will be like, "Give me grandchild now that I'm alive. If I die now, nobody knows if you are getting the grandchild or not. So give it to me." They want to make sure that they see it, continuation of that lineage, even while they are still alive.
But I don't know. Marriage should not be a continuation of lineage. Marriage should not be a factor.
Cultural, that is how it is. You have to continue.
Marriage should not be. you can have a lady, give her pregnant and have a child. It's not a crime.
It's not a crime.
No, it's not.
What do you think? Okay.
It's not a crime.
Okay.
Like,
No, what do you
I
think?
actually disagree with that.
Okay.
I actually disagree.
No, it's not
with
a
that.
crime. You can have a lady, you have mutual consent, you agree with it. I want you to give birth and raise my children for me. Or you have a girlfriend and you have a child.
Wait, that is very
I thought
single
that's
motherhood.
fornication.
It's not fornication.
Then what
Marriage,
is it?
it's not against the law.
What
Is
is
there
it?
is there
What
fornication
is
in
it?
the Nigerian law?
Biblically, there's
Yeah,
fornication.
well, that is when you're bringing religion.
Yeah, there's
and
fornication.
Nigeria
Of
is
course,
not
you
a
should also
And
have
it's also
that
a
on
moral
board.
that
Nigeria
is
is not
guiding
a
us.
religious or cultural country. Nigeria is not.
But wait, but you know that
Nigeria is secular.
but you know that in Nigeria now, each
Yeah.
and every one of us belong to a particular religion.
Not
Yeah.
everybody.
Okay, some people are just there. They don't go to church. They're not Muslims. They're not
Exactly.
Christians.
Exactly.
They're just
Some opinions,
um,
yeah.
yeah, some
But
affect
you
that.
know that.
But we all believe that. That's why the fact that the world has just been so digitalized and nobody cares about it. You can actually meet a girl or get her pregnant, but is it right? It's not right.
It's not wrong.
It's wrong.
How?
It's
Why?
wrong.
Why is it wrong?
Okay, now we are talking about
Why
single
is it
mother.
wrong?
We are talking about single mother. You as a guy are you see the same person that makes her a single mother. In this,
I'm a
very
single
generation.
dad too.
Nobody's looking at you
Why not?
because the baby is definitely not going to be with you.
Exactly. No. Why would the baby be with me?
Can you breastfeed the child?
Well, for a particular period of years with the mother, and after that, I get my child back.
That is when the child has come up a bit.
But we'll see.
Why don't you take care of
Then
the
what
baby
happens
when
to
you
the
see
lady
what
after
happens
you get your
to the
back,
lady?
after you get
Yes.
your child? But what happens to the lady?
pay her off?
She goes to another person and still. What happens
If
to
she
her?
wants to, I already have my child. We move on.
You move
Life
Now
on.
is not
that's
difficult.
wrong.
No, that is not wrong. Because
That's wrong.
Is it illegal?
It's not illegal, but
Will you
it's
be
wrong.
arrested? Why? Why
It's
is,
wrong.
Then why is it wrong?
Okay, let me make an instance now. You said that if the child comes up, like you guys can just like she goes her own way, you go your own way.
Exactly.
Then once she meets someone else now, that same thing happens. She
Mhm.
goes her own way and then
Yes.
it's continued and you say it's right.
Yeah, it's not wrong. Is it wrong?
It's wrong.
Why? How?
It is wrong because
How?
now does that make the lady responsible?
Define responsibility or being responsible.
When you have a child from this man
Okay.
based on your own ideology,
Okay.
that is not wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. And you have babies for 5 different men.
Man,
Is 5 different men, sorry. Is that right?
it's not
If
wrong.
you are let me just say, let's take you for example now.
Okay.
And you know someone, or maybe let me just make
So
it.
if a man-
let me just
let-
make
let
it
me ask
easy
you a
now.
question. If
When
a man-
let me just say, for instance, the lady you are about, sorry to say, but the lady you're about to get married, you find out that she's actually had 5-6 children from different men.
Uh-huh.
What would be your
Um,
reaction? What would
Marriage, for me, I don't believe that marriage is a big deal or a big thing.
you do? Okay.
Marriage is not supposed to determine boosting the generation or having other generational people come into the picture. No. I feel marriage is something, in fact, if you want to go the religion part, the reason why you marry is not for procreation. That was in the Old Testament. In the New Testament, the reason for marriage is sex. Check it.
Okay. So that you not be promiscuous.
No. It's sex.
That is it now. So you have a single partner to have sex with.
Exactly. So the reason for marriage, according to the religion, which is
Mhm.
Christian religion, is sex. It's not for children. So if I want to have children, there are different ways of having children nowadays.
So you go about donating all about.
It's my own.
Okay.
It's not my own. I can donate to anyone I want.
Okay, all right. So let's
That's
move.
his own view on that.
Okay, what
but
about
I totally,
what's your own
disagree
view?
with that. I totally disagree with that.
All right.
Impregnating a lady out there to give birth for you, and then let it after some time you come to pick your child and the lady just go. To
Yeah.
me, it's a very wrong thing.
If you look at it, they are the reason why there's
It's
actually a
wrong.
lot of single mothers out
But you know that we've seen situations where women actually don't, have sex with men. All they do is get what they call it. I forgot what they call it now.
The surrogacy.
Surrogacy,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Thank you. So, are you saying surrogacy is wrong?
That's for some women.
That's
Are you
for-
saying surrogacy is
It is
wrong?
not. She wants
Okay,
to have
there's a reason
child.
for surrogacy.
Are
Actually.
you saying surrogacy?
Wait,
now?
there is a reason for surrogacy.
Okay.
In a situation where, let me use myself for an example, maybe I can't actually conceive,
Okay.
and there's someone out there that might want to help me out to,
Carry your child.
carry my
Exactly.
child or something. The person is actually helping me out,
Mhm.
quite alright,
Okay.
because I cannot,
Okay.
maybe due to health issues or whatever.
Okay.
That's where surrogacy is there.
But you know that.
And I know there are some ladies that don't want to actually carry the child.
Thank you very much.
I know there are some ladies, but not all ladies.
So is the lady wrong?
That is low.
That is her own decision, but
She's
you
wrong.
say
She's
nothing
wrong.
a
She's
girl out
wrong
there.
if she can actually
How?
conceive. Yes, she's wrong.
If she can conceive.
If she can actually conceive,
Exactly.
and then she asks another lady to actually
So
do
it's wrong.
to me, it's wrong. It's not
Why?
right.
Why is it wrong?
From my own perspective?
Exactly. Because you guys are just talking from perspective. Let's talk about
It's
facts.
wrong.
The main purpose of a man and a woman being together, according to some religion, is for procreation. Yeah.
Okay.
Check it very well. I want to procreate. I don't need to marry to procreate. Do I have to marry to
But if
procreate?
you procreate without marrying, it's
Do
fornication.
do I have? That is
the
religion.
Bible? It's
Religion
still
does
there.
not.
The religion has been there before we came in, and it
Religion
still stands.
exactly. So that means when it comes to what was there and what is it is now, that means Mary Slessor stopping killing of twins should not have stopped.
That one was wrong.
So that
It
one
was
was
wrong.
wrong. Yeah, this one is not wrong.
It was
Imagine.
wrong.
Can you imagine?
All right, let's move ahead. Still talking about, let's not digress from the topic. We're still talking about, is marriage a goal for the Gen Zs? Now, is it relevant as a legal union or spiritual union? Is this marriage of a thing? Because if we look at it now, we find out that a lot of young people these days don't actually, I would say a lot of young people, they go for cohabitation.
Yes.
They go for cohabitation, and when you ask them, they are married. Do you understand? They start living with a man. They start, like, let me use the word procreation. They start multiplying according to the Bible.
Okay.
They don't see the essence of having a legal union or a spiritual union. So now, is this still relevant?
Well, according to the Constitution of Nigeria, which basically I would say aligns with the Constitution of the world, if you're not legally married, you're not married. Whether you are spiritually or you're traditionally, done everything. If you're not legally married, if it's not legally bound, and if the government don't have a record, you're not married. You are married until you sign a document that yes, I've married so and so person. That is legal bond. That is marriage according to the government. So anything that happens to to you when you die, woman has access to your property. Or if there is a divorce, the woman has access to your property as well. But so long that it is not legally bound, whether you've done it spiritually or you've done it in the spirit world, you've done it in life here, it does not matter. So for you to be married, you have to sign the legal marriage agreement, the
So
document.
is this still relevant? Do Gen Z see it as something relevant to have a legal union?
Yeah. To have a legal union, it's important to be called marriage. That's what I'm trying to say. For it to be called marriage, you need to make it legal. But from my own perspective, I don't know. I don't think marriage is a big deal. Honestly, I don't think I think marriage is overemphasized, is overhyped.
Mm.
Because when you talk about marriage, what do we want to marry for? Marriage is basically, a lot of people say, for companionship. You can get it elsewhere. For children, you can get it elsewhere. What else do you want for marriage?
So you don't think marriage is important?
No, it's not.
Okay.
I
What
feel
do you
marriage
think?
is important.
Okay.
I disagree with that
Why?
because whatever I'm saying, I'm following it. Sorry, I'm following it with the Bible.
Okay.
Anything you're doing outside marriage
Hmm.
is a
Funny.
sin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes,
Mm.
it's a sin. So to me, marriage is very, very important. Be it a Gen Z or not a Gen Z.
It's not important.
It's important
it's
in your own perspective. You
No,
said it's not
For
important.
you,
you are using the Bible, and I want to use the Bible for you.
Okay.
Why I say marriage is not important according to the Bible because one of the greatest men in the Bible, actually, he wrote a lot of the New Testament. That is Paul. You agree with me? What did he say about marriage? He said young men should not marry. It's there. Check it. Have you seen it? Have you checked it before? You've not checked it before. No, it's there. Check. Anyone can prove me wrong. He
Okay.
said young men should not marry
Why?
because it's not important.
So you are not going to get married?
Well, my mom will not allow that.
No, you should not get
No,
married. Don't get
but if it's
No, you don't have to. You don't actually have to take her opinion. This is what you want. You don't feel marriage is
yeah,
important.
if it's
So you
me,
can actually tell her mom, no, marriage is not important.
If
to me.
it's
I won't
me-
get married.
for me, I don't know. I don't know. It depends on. I think if I've said that if I get to a particular age and I'm not married, I'm not going to get married.
So no matter the pressure your mom puts
No,
on you, you're not getting
It's,
married.
it's not to be kind of.
So you just go outside there.
She have other kids.
Okay.
She could
Okay.
get welcome.
Okay, so let's just do. We are far behind time, so let's move ahead. Now, do you personally see marriage as a life goal? As a person, from your own perspective, do you see marriage as a life goal?
I don't see marriage.
Do you see it as an achievement?
No.
Mm.
It's not an achievement. I said
No,
it
I did not
earlier.
see anything.
It's
I
not-
just said.
I don't like the you said. It's not an
Okay.
achievement. To me, marriage is not an achievement. It's not a necessity. It's not a must.
But you marry.
But it's yes, I will marry.
Then it's a must.
Hey, it's your business. I
You
said
just
it's
said-
not.
You said it's not a must.
It's not an achievement
wants
now.
to.
It's something
Okay.
that would happen.
Okay.
But it's not like my life depends on it.
Like,
if
if
it
you don't
doesn't
get
come,
married-
what will I kill myself? No, it's not a do or die affair. It's not an achievement.
Are you
Look at me that
serious?
way. It's not an achievement.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Are you serious?
I'm being very serious. Marriage is not an achievement.
Okay.
It's as simple as that. You should actually, I'm part of the Gen Z world, yes.
Yes.
I should actually grow myself, get something for myself, my career, my
Be an
education.
independent woman.
Yes, but not the feminist aspect.
Yeah.
I'm not a feminist. You understand? But to me, marriage is not an achievement. I will tell it to anybody. Marriage is not an achievement. It's not a do or die
It's an
affair.
additional.
It's something. Yes,
additional
it's something
So
that
you're saying marriage is not important.
it's important, but it's not an achievement. They are
It's not-
two
it's not
different
a
things.
must.
So you are saying that marriage is your is secondary to you, not primary. That means you put your husband and
This
children
guy.
aside and put your career.
The husband and children has not come.
No, I'm asking. I'm just
When they
asking.
come, my career stands and the family still stands.
So when you have, so which one comes first, your family or your career?
My
When you
family,
marry,
then career.
that means marriage is more important.
Same
than
way
your career.
my present family matter to me. That's the same way I'll
Yes,
carry
that
it.
means what you are just trying to say is that marriage is the main thing for you is to go.
No,
That's what you just said.
that's not what I said.
Okay. Now you have family, you have your career. Which one comes first when you marry?
My family first, then career.
So that means marriage for you is to go.
No,
That's what you just said now.
no, it's not.
Is that not what you just said?
Okay,
That's
what
not what
about
I
you?
said.
For me, I think I'll pick. As much as we would like to make humanity number one in our lives most times, I think for me, I think career really is basic for me. Is number one for me. The goal is to create that aspect where you are known to be that person that in time to come, people talk about you. A lot of people have said that most people have said the reason why you marry is so that people can carry your name. But the point is, if I check my surname, the reason I'm bearing my surname is because of one man decided to be very popular. No, I'm serious.
Okay.
Because before the man that gave birth to that have my surname, there was a man before him. I'm not using his name. Now there have been people after that man. I don't even understand what I mean.
Yes, I do.
Because according to your Bible, your religion, it says that Adam and Eve. So all of us should have been Timothy Adam. You get? We should have been Adam behind our back. But there's been a lot of people before my surname man came into the picture. That means he did not put that surname because of procreation. He put it there because people know him. Today we're talking about Faraday. You know Faraday, the guy that did this bulb and all.
Yeah.
Is it the one? Yeah, I think he's the one. Yeah. We're talking about him. Do you know his children?
Nope.
So, the most popular man on earth, does he have children? Do you know who the popular man is? Most popular man? Jesus. Does he have
You-
children?
You are
Yes,
all
we are
of
his
us. We are
children.
all his children.
We are his children.
Biblically, yes, we are.
Where do you become an Israelite?
We all are.
Biblically, he never had a woman. Biblically, he never married.
Biblically, he said we are his children.
But you're adopted. You're not his child.
I'm still his child.
You are not. You
I'm
don't.
still his child.
You don't
We
share
all
the same
are.
blood.
We all are his children.
You are not.
Okay, let me take for instance now. A man who goes out to adopt a child,
Exactly.
they don't share the same blood.
Exactly.
But if he's to carry on his lineage and nobody knows what he say, this is my child.
There's a legal binding. Yes or no?
So what makes you think there's nothing?
So what is the legal? What is the legal?
The
document
Bible.
you sign?
That's the Bible.
Do you sign anything on your Bible?
That is the Bible. He has already made us understand that we are
There
his
is no
children.
legal document. You are not an Israelite. You are not a Jew. Jesus went to Egypt. You've never been to Egypt. I don't know if you've been to Egypt. You are not an Egyptian. You're a Nigerian. You are not his child. You
His
never had a
child.
child.
I'm his child.
Okay, let's not digress. Let's not go far. Okay, the last question.
Wait, before you go into that, I was
Okay.
trying to raise a point. So,
Alright.
my point is, marriage does not really show how far you've gone in life. It's what you do that shows who you are or show what you've done in life. It's not marriage.
All right, thank you. Now the last question. Do you think people marry more for love, pressure, or security? Because there are a lot of reasons. If you meet Mr. A and ask him why did you get married, he might tell you I just want to make sure I have this. Will be my name. So I'll tell you I'm married because I'm in love. So I'll tell you I'm married because you could actually maybe I could you could actually fend for my bills. Or this one will say I'm married because she's a good person. So everybody has. So do you think people marry from love, pressure, or for security?
Mostly it's actually pressure. Mostly it's actually pressure.
So marriage, because of love, is not actually that high.
Or because the
People
woman
don't
is
marry.
pregnant. So you have to marry
Okay.
her. There's no
It's
choice.
still pressure.
It's still pressure
part
now.
of it.
It's still pressure. So
Pressure is-
you're not saying that the love aspect does not really work.
It's not
well.
higher.
It's not high.
Pressure is actually higher. than
So are you
love.
trying to say there's no more love when it comes to marriage aspect?
It's more of pressure, honestly. Because I
there's
have
no
seen a
love.
lot of things. Honestly,
There's no love.
There is still love. There is still love, but in the present state now, the pressure is actually high. First, from your family aspect. Secondly, from what you see on the social media, you want to get married because
From
you're
society.
seeing people there. You're seeing, okay, this couple, this, I want to be like this. Then maybe, just like you said, just go and get pregnant for a man, tie him down, try to, try to force him to create whatever they're creating there, which is actually silly for me.
Okay.
You understand? That one is also pressure. Then at home, your mommy will tell you you need to get a wife. Yeah, you as a lady, they'll start pressurizing you. You're getting up to 30, menopause is knocking, this. You need to give birth and all kinds of things. And before you know it, you pick a random guy somewhere and that's it. Just because of the pressure. And the pressure aspect is actually on a higher side to me.
So
That's what I'm
and people
saying.
don't marry for security. Like I feel that this person can actually
Take care of me.
take care of me or
Yeah,
protect
it's
me.
it's very possible. Yes,
Okay.
some persons are like that. Maybe I'm married because this person has money. Person can actually take care of. I don't actually love the person, but the
The-
things he has
Yes,
can
comes first,
actually,
yeah.
can actually take care of me, take care of my generation. Maybe look at his net worth. This generations we
So,
enjoy.
like, generally saying,
And they still love.
so generally saying that love like comes last when it comes to
The
marriage.
fact is, when we check history lane, most people, even our parents, most people don't marry for love. That's why you see people go to their village and they give them a woman. Where do you know the woman from? You don't love the woman. Maybe the love builds or grow.
Yes.
A lot of people of people are in their marriages. Most of our parents are in their marriages because of the children, not because of the man.
Yes, even though they are passing through this beating and all that.
You get my
Abusive,
not
yes.
even
Yes.
there may be some men that are not abusive, but they don't give attention to their wife.
Yes.
They may not be their wife, but there's no attention because most of times it's not about it's the children. That is why most marriages, pre-millennial marriages, are standing because of the children. Because of the children. I don't know if you understand what I mean. So I think we've now seen a shift of people are now saying that no, it's not like my life is not depending on the child. My life is my life.
Now,
So-
yes, a lot of
Yes.
people, because at the end of the day, when you still go on the children's stage,
So for me,
something should happen. The children are there, and you're the one at loss. So everyone is actually trying to run their own race this time around.
yeah. So from inception, love has not been it. Women that know. You people know.
But there are still marriages with love.
Yeah,
There are still marriages with
Actually,
love.
I agree
Yes.
with you. There are still marriages with love, but most marriages are not based on love. Most
Just
marriages
like I
are
said.
based on security. Someone that will take care of me.
Yeah.
Most women want to marry someone that when they go out, they'll be able to tell, that's my husband. I think they spend money. It's the truth. Most people marry so that when they are with their friends, they can show off that the earring I'm using, the necklace I'm
They
using,
didn't actually start. They even started then.
security.
Back then when this man has the biggest farmland.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They have this biggest barn. Where
That is-
they have
He's
yams
known
and
as the
all
most
that.
productive farmer in
King,
the
they go
Mm.
and marry all those kind of things.
That is when
And
you
he will
now
pass
see
and be like, oh, this man he has muscle, he has this, he has that.
exactly.
It started since then. So,
So
it
that's
started
why you now see more than one wife. But I think that nowadays, honestly, a lot of people, especially women, millennial women, are marrying because of time.
They are actually aging fast.
Exactly. When they were younger, they were doing shakara to men. The shakara was too
They'll
much.
end up marrying their own at the end.
So at the end, they
They
want
settle
to
for
settle
anything.
down. So
Anything they see.
whatever come their way, even if it beats them, like me, I just put my head and stay. Yeah. So
All
for
right.
me, love now, most women know.
All right. Thank you very much. That was a wonderful, wonderful discussion. Thank you very much for your time and thank you. So, to our viewers out there, you've heard our discussion in the studio today. Is marriage still a goal for the Gen Zs? So, to all our viewers out there, do you still want to get married? Do you think marriage is a goal? Or do you think that it's actually not important? It's not important. What is the future in this Gen Z world when it comes to marriage? So, please do well to leave your comments, your contributions on our Facebook page. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, on TikTok, follow all our Facebook our pages at Serenity TV. Thank you for watching and God bless you. Bye.